Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Feels good right there. I wanted to make sure the energy was right for this Monday, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say about this next artist? It's my brethren right here. It's like a high school reunion. 1990 is when Sway and Tech first came out on the radio. We was doing stuff before 1990. I don't talk about that much. You got to do your own digging. Figure out what that was. Make your own documentary. Think it was 91 when the EP came out. All sold out. Was that 90?
91.
91. 92, Mecca and the Soul Brother came out, and it changed the game.
That's a fact.
The canvas and how we make music and how we express ourselves. You had an architect on the beats, and you had a poet on the penman game. His voice was silky, rich, nice, smooth. His patterns were unheard of, authentic, innovative even. The two of them together made up Mecca and the Soul Brother and gave us some of our biggest music to date. And then stopped there. These dudes kept creating, went about, did their own thing, started doing their own solo projects. And today we celebrating the brother that we hardly get a chance to see or talk to, damn it. I don't know if he was an introvert back in the 90s, but now we got better understandings of who we are as individuals, and he here today. The one and only CL Smooth! Yes. Fell over this motherfucker, CL.
Fire tie-dye.
How you doing, man?
What a pleasure, Sway. What a pleasure.
Man. We've been doing this shit
Always,
for years.
always.
Come
What
on.
a pleasure. Definitely.
Come on. How many years we been doing this, CL?
At least 25.
At least 25.
At least.
How is it, CL, that you only look like you 25 years of age? What is it? What you doing? You drinking goat blood? What are you doing, CL?
I just get rest, and I treat myself well.
You treat
know what I'm
yourself
saying?
well.
I don't abuse myself.
You don't drink
I
or
get the
smoke?
rest with. I mean, when it's time, you take a toke. When it's time, you have a drink. But everything is at a minimum. You know, as you grow older, you have to treat yourself a different way. You have to change the narrative a lot of times. So all the drinking and the drugging and the womanizing, that has to stop at some point. You have to start evolving and maturing and doing things that create a different aura for yourself.
Wow. At what age do you think that started for you, that change in mindset?
I think once I started getting my feet wet in the business and understanding exactly where I was at as far as a man taking care of his family and establishing some boundaries in what I can do exactly for you and what I can't do and what are my struggles and how do I get past that.
What did you identify as some of your struggles?
I think just surrounding myself with more positive people. I think growing up, what attracted me was the streets, the allure of it, and not picking people who were upstanding and high moral, but just exciting and influential in some ways and detrimental in a lot of other ways.
That's real.
You did a solo project called The Outsider.
Right.
It? The Outsider.
Yes.
At that stage when you were making, that was in 2007. Where were you psychologically back then as an individual when you made The Outsider? Did that title have some significance in how you felt about yourself?
Well, I think I was in a lot of other places. Where I am now is more comfortable in my skin. Back then, it was more of a tug of war of being creative, not being fully committed to the music, and fatherhood, and what are the struggles of raising two children outside of my home, and what's the formula of success for that.
Did you have a kid? When did you first have a kid, if you don't mind me asking?
I had a kid in 91.
In 90. So while we were getting all this amazing music, you were a father back then.
Right, a young father.
A young father. I didn't know that.
Right.
Okay.
So I ended up having two sons.
Uh-huh.
And, we basically grew up together. But it was a struggle because of not living with me. So there had to be some type of sacrifice. And in the middle of my group disbanding, I thought it would be wise to not have the excuse of anything else distracting me from raising them as men. And then I can go back to my life.
Is that part of why y'all disbanded? Because you want to refocus your priorities?
Well, I wanted to grow as men.
Uh-huh.
I think it was beyond the music point where I feel like I don't have to blame people for my rights and wrongs, or I have to look in the mirror first. So for me, it's just about beyond the music, being able to talk to each other, articulate, being able to understand each other's pains, and what I've learned from this disbandment is hurt people. When you want to heal, you got to sit down and talk about it. So I mean, there's certain things you learn from it. It's more a simple thing like be friends.
Yeah.
You know, which I value more. Like you can't dodge. It's only two people in the group. This is not Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know, it's only two people in the group. So you're always going to be stuck with that genre. This is your brother, but we're moving in different spaces, in different time, and people are pulling us in different spaces where I want to sacrifice and say, well, I'm not going to make any more kids, and I'm not going to get married till I feel I'm in a space where I can handle it. Whereas he might not be. That's his choice, but it shouldn't be my choice to judge or my choice to suffer from his choices.
CO Smooth is here, man. When I watch you and I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about the Main Ingredient album, the All Sold Out, all the different projects that you've done, solo, all the different projects that Pete done, and I hear this growth journey that you guys are going through, that you went through, and I think of all the other groups, you know, like the Tribe Called Quest, you know,
Black Star.
Black Star, and we were young, right? Everybody was young, dealing with this new world, opportunity, money, celebrity, how that affects you as an individual, friends, family, how that affects them as an individual. It's almost feel like we were probably over our heads and had to figure out who we were emotionally in our emotional development. Right. Would you agree with that? Like, cause we were going through a lot of, when you say hurt people, motherfuckers didn't even know they was hurting.
Right.
You know what I mean? We didn't even know we was hurt people.
That's my point about growth.
Okay.
That's my point about taking it back to who raised you.
Okay.
And that's my whole. I got hugs. I got love. When you get so far out, so deep into what you're into, you forget about a lot of times the simple thing that happened to you, and there was no excuses for not sitting down. Sometimes what I say is you need to listen to your own records because they have so much information in it. As a young kid, I just sit down and I'm saying, well, wow, you are like your grandfather because you took everything from him. You took his lyrics, you took his vibe, his cadence, and everything he taught you. This is what you put into these records, these jazz records, these records that in back in that time, who would have picked these tracks? Who would have made these tracks any relevant? So it was from the soul, it was from the heart, and it had to be somebody who was raised that way to bring it home. CO
Smooth is here. We're going to get to this new music. You mentioned listen to your own music. Are there any particular songs that you listen to now you can reflect on and go, wow, who was that guy? But at the same time, I'm learning from what he was saying. Is there any songs that you written that you look back that educate you about you?
Definitely. Troy.
Troy
showed me the value of what I felt, where I was getting my strength from. I was getting it from my people. I wasn't getting it from the street. I gave the street something. What the street gave me back was the hunger and the desire to be better than I was. And I just took it and ran with it. I didn't stay there idle. I took it and ran with it. You understand? And what I see now is when you're disliked, when you're not favored, it's because you're doing something right. When everybody loves you and they're praising you, you're not a threat. You're not doing something right. So that's what I learned from in my youth, what I couldn't handle. And a lot of black people don't go and sit on the couch and talk to somebody. That's how I got my head together. I went and said, you know what? I don't feel right. Let me get to an objective opinion. I've been raised well, but let me get with somebody who doesn't know me and try to pick something out of me that needs to be fixed. Because we're all broken at some point. What are you going to fix? Or are you going to stay broken? So that's my thing, is to get that mind right. And then when you get that mind right, then you have something to contribute. My pride is hanging up that I got college graduates. I got master's degrees. I took my time out to say, I didn't have no excuse. I didn't need a #1 record to pay for that. All I needed to do was prioritize.
You got a master's degree?
No, I'm talking about my son.
Your sons. Okay.
My master's degree was seeing them get it.
Okay.
My joy was seeing them get it and seeing me go and see them walk the stage on a campus where I've never walked a campus. I've never done that. But they're showing me something that I didn't do. And that's all a part of growth and living and keeping myself healthy, was to see them do that.
CL Smooth,
Amen.
man. Who's the picture right there on your necklace?
Oh, that's definitely my grandfather.
That's your
You
grandfather.
know, my inspiration, my portable Jesus, I call him. You know,
You
because he's that voice that tells you, man, slow down a little bit. Man, think about that. Watch what you say to people, and that's my angel. That's something that I would give up everything just to sit in 5 minutes and pick his brain. So that's when I consider myself the richest.
Yeah.
When I had all this family around me, all my uncles at full strength, nothing, real uncles with the muscles and the attitude and the confidence of being your uncle, that pride. So I love to bask in that history.
Yeah, and let it fuel you. I can't help, because when I listen to you talk, man, and I've known you for so long, and I've known Pete, and I'm looking at the success of this recent Gang Starr album, man, and I don't know where it stands, but when you see the Gang Starr album having this kind of success, and you see Black Star, Yasin Bey and Talib Kweli coming back together. I know you and Pete went back and forth. I don't know where it stands now. It's not even about that. That's not why you're here. But listening to you talk, I want to see a Mecca and the Soul Brother concert. Can it happen?
Well, on my end, it's always been that open door for conversation. Let's have some tea. Let's talk. I figure if you can't have tea, you can't do anything. So if you can't sit and have tea, what's the point of talking about something so beyond belief? But when I look at it outside looking in, I look at it like a boxer that sees the prize and the belt on another person, and I want it. That's how I look at it. I look at it as I want what they have. I'm hungry for it. So even if we're not getting along, maybe that's good too. Maybe let's write about not getting along, not agreeing with each other, not liking who we see every day in each other. But in an art form, anything goes. That's what the challenge is. Some people don't want to be challenged, but I do. I want to be challenged.
CL Smooth, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to come back and open up this phone line. You got a song called Too Cold. I'm going to play the song. Y'all want to talk with them, 888-742-3345.
The paper chasing too cold.
Too cold. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. Get on your P's and Q's. Cross your T's and dot your I's.
Real gangsters drink tea.
Yeah, you can be too cold. Yeah, CL Smooth, ladies. Real gangsters drink tea.
Yes.
Herbal tea.
Herbal tea.
The green
Oh.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green.
Green tea.
What other kind of
Ginger.
What other kind of things you do that people like? I couldn't picture CL drinking tea. Do you do the pinky up too when you drink your tea?
No, because
okay.
I like the big cup, so I don't have to keep going back. So
I like
get
that.
Big,
I like-
I get that big cup that keeps it hot all the time.
Okay, I got a small garden in my
I love
apartment.
it.
You like keep it hot all the time. So do you garden? Do you like
Right.
how you come
Yo,
first?
are you figuring me out?
I'm
Because
trying
this
to
is
be-
what I love. I love gardening. I love curtains, but I just don't
yes.
say it.
Yeah, that's I'm picking
I
up.
just don't say because it's not masculine enough.
We
You
all
shop
for
at
that.
Whole
We all
Foods?
for
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, we all
I'm a
for
neat
that.
freak. The hanger's got to be a certain way.
Yeah, now Billy D.
OCD.
Williams, we would tap into our feminine side. It's okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We could tap into the feminine.
Yeah, I'm trying to make yard of the month every month.
That really?
Yeah, every
Yes,
month. When I see
yes.
this, when I see the fence in somebody, I'm like, what? What? Well, what plant, what bush do I have to get?
You see?
What?
So
You
Better
see?
Homes and Gardens.
Yeah, I want my lawn like Yankee Stadium.
That
Come
would
on
be
now.
so ill. You should get somebody to like Better Homes and Gardens.
We
Should come
gotta
into
get
your.
vanilla ice in my backyard. That's
Yeah.
what we need.
You see
Right.
them
We
redoing,
need
renovating.
vanilla. Huh?
You talking about the real Vanilla Ice?
I'm talking about the real one.
The
that makes
rapper.
the backyard go
Yeah.
with the swings and the pool and you dive in there and you come out and
He ain't
and
gonna
you
do
got
it.
the automatic blow dryer.
Yeah. Like you walk by and it's
Yeah,
just
and
a
it
blow
just
dry.
gets
Yes,
Like the
that's-
Jetsons.
Just get dry.
I tried to do that. I have Vanilla Ice up here, and you know, I
You know,
I play. I played it like a fiddle, and in the end, he still wouldn't do my place though.
you didn't follow up.
Maybe
I
because
did.
we want him to pay for it.
That's what it is.
You throw that in there.
Right.
It's just for publicity. Come on,
Yeah.
Ice. You know,
Come on now.
that's good to know, man. Do you travel a lot with the
I
with
do.
the boys?
I do. Not with the boys
Okay.
because they're pro mommies. Like I said, I should have had a daughter, but it didn't work out like that. But they're pro mommy. They're just like me. They're gonna be, how you doing, Dad? We need this, and then how you doing? Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh no.
But it gets to that. How old are they? Like
26
yeah.
and 28.
That's where it is. Like my daughter's 21, and it's
Yes.
they say a few words, but
Yeah.
can I get that?
That's interesting because T.I., when he was on Red Table Talk, he was talking about how to become a better father that's not just there as like a walking pocketbook in a sense, you know what I mean? A walking wallet.
Yeah.
And just different ways of trying to bring himself into his children's lives.
Well, that's important. You got to make the effort. With you just got to show up. Sometimes.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
You
I have
good?
no
Okay.
kids.
All right.
Well, it's
They're very young adults. That's it.
It's interesting to hear you talk like this because we know more about Aunt Joyce than we know about you from the
Yeah, Aunt
records.
Joyce
'cause
something.
You don't talk too much. But tell us about the early hip hop inspirations because Mount Vernon, people don't know Mount Vernon is the first cousin of the Bronx.
Right.
And when hip hop started, it slipped into Mount Vernon quicker than anywhere else in the city. And so you had the old school Collins brothers and other guys from uptown. You know, I know about the so give me some history about you and your early beginnings of hip hop from uptown.
I think just being in a small town, where everybody knows everybody, it was just a vibe of, just an easygoing thing. You had DJ Eddie F. He DJ all the parties. You go to high school, you go to junior high school, he's doing all of those parties. And then you have them forming a group, Heavy D and the Boys, and you get to see that. You get to experience that growth of seeing Hev become the mayor of the town and the president of the town, and how talented he was for a big guy to move like that. So automatically, as an artist, I look at performance more than I look at this lyrical, trying to be lyrical.
Right.
But I want to perform. I want people to like me like that. And being from the town and having that energy of who comes from the town,
Right.
like all those NBA players and Olympic gymnasts and track runners and Dick Clark and just the whole vibe of who's there and what you contributed to it most of all.
Did you perform at the high school dances and stuff like that?
No, I didn't get an opportunity to do that. I think I was in high school back then when Memorial Field was open and
Okay.
they had all the Fresh Fest to come through there, and I mean they had Rob Bass at the high school, so
Right.
it was a different vibe back then. That hip hop was vibrant, the streets were vibrant. High school was different too.
What's the craziest tour you guys went on? Like, do you recall any great tour stories? You ever get a fight on tour?
Nah.
No, that didn't happen with y'all. Y'all didn't attract that kind of.
I would have to say we got mad love.
Okay.
Everything was mad love, but it depends on who you are.
Okay.
Like if you would have is got the whole town with them, yeah, probably so. But overall, as a group, individually, no, we weren't troublemakers. We weren't instigators. We were more into the element of music, that jazz, that you adopting that personality more than a thug. But you're around the thugs, but you're more jazzy and laid back and mature, where they're reactive and you're just there.
Comfortable in
the
your
fray.
skin. Yeah, exactly. You got these two songs, Just in Town and Too Cold. What do you monitor when it comes to the canvas of music right now? How do you stay in tuned, or are you listening to other newer artists, or are you just?
I listen for a bit. I give myself a chance to listen for a bit, but I'm more into old music.
Okay.
I'm more into the messages of old music and how they deliver the messages. Because that's just where my mind is at. My mind is not on the current thing. I can only listen to that or be subjective to that in the gym. And there's a couple of pieces that I do enjoy too, that I do rock out with, but not the whole spectrum of I'm a youth again.
Yeah,
and I'm a hip hopper, and that's what it is. And any hip hop it is, I embrace. No,
No, that's not it.
No,
that's not like the
not
old
it.
days. Okay. CL Smooth, ladies and gentlemen, 888-742-3345. You want to talk to him? We got Harry on the line from the Bay Area. Harry, what up, Harry?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Hey.
Man, we got the legendary CL Smooth, man. Hey, this ain't a bad job to have.
That's a great job to have, man. I want to say, just hearing your voice, man, it's like it's so spiritual, man. I don't think that you understand how you and Pete Rock touched our lives, man. So it's been my prayer that groups like from our era from the 90s can get back together, man, because we need this. I need to hear you on stage. I need to see you living well, because I grew up to your soundtrack, man. Listening to your All Sold Out. I think that was the first song or album that I was introduced to you, and I'm like, man, you had this song called The Good Life. I think it was the first song that I heard. And it was like your voice. Then I watched the video of Straighten It Out. You get down hopping into the Lexus. I'm like, man, you was my dude. So it's my prayer, man, that whatever the situation is, man, I appreciate you on here. You're not bashing your brother. You saying you love him. Man, we just need more of that going on, man. And if my voice could be a blessing to you like you've been a blessing to me this morning, man, I'm just going to keep praying for you and your family. And, man, you just the grown folk talk, the real talk that you just gave us this morning, man, I feel like I owe you something, because I needed to hear what you were saying today, man. You probably one of the most spiritual guys I ever met, man. What?
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Man.
That's amazing right there.
Yeah.
Bless. That's what I'm talking about.
That's amazing.
That's what makes it all worth being who I am.
No, G, I just want you to get on the headphones so you can hear it. Not get on the mic, Gina. My sister just walked in. She
always ready, though.
Get on the
Family
mic.
first.
Tell you.
Family first.
She would have had some powerful words,
Get some
too.
headphones,
I
Gina.
bet that.
I'm working here. I know it's CL Smooth.
Let Gina get on the mic.
Gina always got
You gonna
something
say
right to
something?
say.
G-Life.
I bet you she gonna say something ill.
Get me. That's all I got
G,
to say.
you about to say something to him?
Well, I mean, I was
You wanna
just
say
going to
something to
bless
CL?
the brother up, and it's just like real folks
My
up
big
in
sister,
here.
CL Smooth.
Right.
It's your big sister.
Blessing.
Ashe.
Okay, go ahead. Just real
Love.
quick, though, G. We in the show.
Well, it's our Go Ireo Monday, and we have to salute the day. We salute our heads, our Ori. May we be aligned in the grand ancestors. It's pleased to be here. Give thanks. Sway in the morning. What?
What? Oh, I aspire.
Yes. All the way. You gotta give thanks.
Oh,
Gotta give thanks.
what?
That's what I grew up with. You're a citizen, Harry.
A sway in the morning.
Randy from Strong Island. Randy, what you want
What
to say?
it is, brother.
What it is, brother?
What up,
Yo,
though?
Sway.
CL
Yo, what up,
Smooth.
Heather B?
Hi.
Tracy OG.
Hey.
You.
Yo.
What it is, man. I actually had a question for CL Smooth there.
What's up?
Big fan, dude. I was a rapper myself, and I kind of have that like low voice. You're one of my what's the word?
You admire
Idols?
his work.
Mentors?
What's your question,
Yeah.
Randy?
He talked about his grandfather earlier in the thing, and then I remember the lyric. I could hear his head dinging on the wall in the next room. Is that the same guy?
Oh, yes, it is. Definitely.
Yeah.
My inspiration. You know,
Yeah.
his negative energy or positive energy. I learned from everything. He had 180 negative, 180 positive, which is 360 degrees, full circle.
Because he was a big blues bag, I'm guessing.
He loved that jazz. He loved that blues. He loved to talk the inside of things rather than the outside of things. So he was a great inspiration for me.
Hey, Randy, thanks for your call, man. Listen, CO got new music. Just in Town is one of the songs, and Too Cold. Is this available where anybody could get it now? Is it streaming?
Absolutely. It's streaming on all platforms.
All the platforms. CO is streaming, kid. I love hearing this journey. The conversation has to change. We can't keep talking about the same shit we was talking about 15, 20 years ago. We've all grown, and we've all traveled, and we've all made money, and we've all had valleys. We've all had peaks.
Definitely.
That's the information. You see these people eating up this conversation. Yeah. You know, that's the information we need. We need to know the experiences you've gone through. Our lives are parallel. We came in the game at the same time. I want to hear it. I would love to see if you and the Soul Brother could work it out where at least y'all can do a project for people, whether y'all like each other or not. I don't know what the situation is, but you got, like you said, off mic, you got a fan base. Y'all got a huge fan base that just want to, man, when we hear you rap, when we hear y'all music, that's where the healing starts for us, too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that vibration of Pete Rock and CL Smooth being absorbed by my pores. Right. And then it's being digested by my system. And then whatever a byproduct of it is positivity that I'm giving out because I'm feeling good listening to y'all.
Right.
And learning from y'all. So that's a service we have to do. I'm not doing this shit on the mic to get money no more. I don't care. Money ain't going to make me happy. I figured that out when I made the most I did a few years back, and then that shit got taken from me. And I found, it got taken from me. So what I'm supposed to do for happiness, that didn't make me happy in the first place. This makes me happy.
Right.
I need to hear these full circle stories that we all going through. We all search for a connection, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, y'all want to sit down. You want to sit down and have tea. Let's make a connection.
But a person that knows you is supposed to act like they know you.
Yeah.
The person that experienced something special and pivotal in their life is supposed to recognize you, good or bad. But there's a platform also that you can talk on.
Yeah.
You know, if you can make other things with other people, then you can sit down and you can articulate and you can break down things. All you do is got to open up your mind and your heart. That's all you have to do.
I hope both of you are able to do that. And even if I'm going to assume that you are going to be able to do it. I ain't going to speak in the negative one day. And even if you never put out another song just for that reason, you know, I hope that y'all able to make some kind of peace. CL Smooth, ladies and gentlemen. CL, did you enjoy your time here this morning, man?
I loved it. I thought you were going to ask me some questions.
You can, Heather, go ahead.
Heather B's quiet tonight. She's quiet.
Hey,
I'm
Spencer.
listening.
She's
Just
quiet.
because, but it's good to listen. I mean,
It
there's
is.
nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of questions in here, and a lot of things got answered and cleared. This is you've been invited here, and this is your opportunity, like you said, to share your growth. And I think we all learned a lot. Sometimes it's nice to listen, you know. So
Right.
I enjoyed the conversation, and it's just dope to hear you. It's dope to see you, and I'm happy for you. To Sway's point, this shouldn't be your last stop. You should be going everywhere. All of the years, all the DJs, all the shows. I mean, I've even done shows with y'all. And people
Right.
seeing you and hearing your story and hearing your growth. So this shouldn't be your last stop.
Right. It should be our stops. All our stops.
No doubt.
You know?
No doubt.
The healing process, the opening up the gates to a reason to talk, a reason to reason, a reason to have yourself in a presence of somebody who has love for you, who can gauge that love in if it's lost, be able to gauge it in and still be on the same page of respect. It starts with that. The respect. We've done too much for each other not to be able to talk. I understand your anger. I understand. Everybody gets angry. Everybody's not going to be liked, but there has to be a platform for healing too. You can't just go through life not liking people and that's that. It's no challenge to it. Everybody's not going to be, it's like water. You got to mold yourself to it. It's like water. So you got to be like water. If you're not like water and everything is a brick you're throwing, and it's hard for you to learn that way. That's how kids learn, not what to do and what not to do. And that's what my platform is here. It's here not to just say, well, he's going that way and I'm going. No, I'm talking about let's heal. Right. And he might not like it today, but he might hear it tomorrow and have a different opinion on what I'm saying. But it's the same thing.
Right.
Right. CL Smooth.
I got to say this really quick. Saturday night was the first time I saw you on stage in a very long time. And I closed my eyes and listened to your voice. It's exactly the same as the record. And I felt like the very first time I saw you on stage. And it was crazy. People, you must do yourself a favor and come check this brother out on any show that he does, because it was comparable. It was exactly the same. Like I've never seen no one have that voice. A very few amount of people. T-La Rock.
Okay.
Very few amount of people can sound like the record this many years later, comparable to then. It was perfect. So I got to salute you on that.
Take that, man. Take that. CL Smooth, man. Good to see you, bro. Really good to see you, man.
Always
Keep
a pleasure.
shining.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you for being transparent and open in this conversation. And I appreciate you, man.
Business as usual.
You already know it, man. CL Smooth, ladies and gentlemen.